go. We had a little bit of a delay because Captain Evil had a price tag on her shirt.
And Rick kept saying, your tag is hanging out. If you stand up, we're going to see it. And I'm like going in the back of my shirt. He meant the actual price tag was still on my shirt.
Yes. So this is a very special episode because it's basically the Thanksgiving episode. And we have
Or I feel like the delayed Veterans Day episode. I'm excited.
Also.
Yeah.
It's all mixed in together.
Yes.
And I know you guys see two.
Because we are thankful for our veterans.
We're always. You did good.
I did good.
I finally got you on board to care about other people other than yourself.
Oh, shut your mouth.
So it turns out. Well, okay. There's so much to talk about. There are 2 extra microphones. We have 4 very special guests for this episode.
Yes.
But first of all, we're thankful for our friends at Aztec Chevrolet.
We are very thankful.
Make sure you're looking for a car right now because the kids are off. You're off for the holidays. Please give Aztec Chevrolet a chance. Please. Aztec Chevrolet. We love you guys. Thank you so much. And also our friends at Old Salt Coffee for not only making a huge donation to our veterans, but also tasting like freedom. Old Salt Coffee, guys, we're doing great. Continue to buy Old Salt Coffee, Trevino 10. That's Trevino with the number 10. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Happy Friday.
Yes, and by the way, it looks like we are going to deliver 200 pies. And it looks like Renae is probably going to win.
Oh, look at you being a big old puppy dog trying to earn those last couple of pies.
And it's my fault.
Don't let him fool you.
It's my fault.
Do not let him fool you.
And I know it's my fault.
Why?
Because last episode I was a grump and I was mean to you.
You were mean to me.
And then everybody was like, no. First you were mean to me and then I was winning.
Oh, I was not mean to you.
No, in the past. And then I was winning and then they were like, oh man, Steve deserves to pie Renae in the face. And then I was shitty to you last episode and your pie count just went way up. So it is definitely...
So don't try and be fake nice today.
I know, I'm going to tell you. It doesn't matter. It's
nice.
over. It's happening. We only have a few more days and we filmed this on Tuesday. We have like 3 more days and you are beating me by almost 15 pies. But...
When does it end?
It ends Friday.
Oh, I thought it was Sunday.
Or Sunday, yeah. It ends this Sunday.
See, this episode will air, and this big old puppy dog act, they're gonna buy it, and you're gonna win.
No, but I'm really proud of us, and I'm really happy that we were able to. And I really got to thank. Sonia Torres, and her husband, who is a big shot at Camp Pendleton.
Yes.
Big shot Marine.
She's awesome.
If it wasn't for the Torres family. Sonia and reaching out. And by the way, her and her group do so much out there in San Diego for veterans. So Sonia and Al, we love you guys. You're such good people. And we're really thankful to have you in our lives. And we're really proud. But it was, we moved into the new house, as you guys know, and you start to get to know your neighbors.
Yes, naturally.
And it's just, I truly believe that things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I think there's a higher power. I think that we are given people in our lives for a reason. I'm out in the yard, which ended up winning Yard of the Month. I'm out in the yard and we meet Amy first. Uh-huh. Amy comes walking by and she probably wanted to talk to me because I was out there. My calves were showing. I was looking good. But Amy comes by and we just start to chat and we start to realize that we have so much in common. We both have love for our veterans. Mm-hmm. And then it turns out that they are brilliant musicians and wonderful people. And we find out that they teach music lessons. So all of a sudden,
we've been looking for a piano teacher for Garrett, but with Delilah being so little, it's hard to drive him to a lesson, and I couldn't find someone to come to the house.
And it's hard because we do kind of live out in the country, and we
we
already leave for extreme martial arts. We already leave for soccer.
Yeah.
So it's hard. So to find out that, and they're just wonderful people.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tie it all in. We'd like to introduce you to our neighbors.
Yes.
Amy and Charlie, come on in, guys.
I was going to try and reach the door for you.
Hey, neighbors.
Hello. This is Amy, of course, and this is Charlie. And Amy is looking all military official.
I know, this is the first time I've ever actually seen you in your uniform.
Well,
so
it's
when
not
you
like I do the
walked
yard in it, you know.
I mean, it is a little intimidating. It's kind of intimidating. Charlie, how do you feel at the house?
She doesn't wear it around the house, so that's probably good,
But she walked in and I'm like, yes, ma'am.
And you're so tall and such a presence.
Well, thank you.
I was like,
I
yes,
try.
ma'am,
I try.
absolutely.
I wake up every morning, I'm like, good morning, Captain. No.
Total crap.
So does Steve.
Anyway.
Good morning, Captain.
Yeah, but this shit's official. This shit is official. You are not officially ranked. But it's we had poker over, then Charlie, you came over and hung out, and we were starting to become neighborly and good friends, and it's just really exciting. But it really tripped me out. Well, first of all, tell us about your kids too, because your kids serve as well, right?
We do. Our oldest is at the Merchant Marine Academy, and most people have never heard of Merchant Marine Academy. Renae actually had, because she went to school in New York. But no, he's at Merchant Marine Academy. He is a junior football player. He's like 6'6". You guys haven't met him yet, but he's coming home on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. We pick him up Sunday from the airport.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So-
Well, and people don't quite realize that, yes, when somebody signs up to be in the military, that, their parents are sacrificing, their grandparents are sacrificing, their cousins and family, they're all sacrificing because they're gone and they belong to the government. And it's such a huge...
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, we went to the Coast Guard game. They just played their big rival, Coast Guard, on Saturday. We flew up for the day. It was crazy, but we came back and, before the game starts, they march the entire regiments, both Merchant Marine Academy and Coast Guard Academy, out on the field. And I tell you what, those are just some of the sharpest young men and women. I mean, I'm just so proud of them, and just that they get it at that age to sign up and serve their country. And
Yeah.
I mean, look, I have always said, I have a wonderful dad, and I credit that to him being in the military.
Yeah.
I think the disciplines that he learned, and the all the yes sirs and no sirs and yes ma'ams and no ma'ams and all the things that the military teach, and I think that the military is a great place, because you always hear about these places that are I'm trying to think of the good word, because ghetto's a horrible word, but these places that are hard to get out of. I always feel like, man, if the military is such a great option.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think too, like the group that we get to work with, it's like they're 18, they're 19, they've never been away from home. It's their very first time leaving, and all of a sudden they're like freaking out because they're
So we serve
basic.
at Lackland Air Force Base. Which
Yeah,
is,
so our nonprofit Sparrow Songs, we do, we've impacted over 300,000, basic airmen as they go through basic training. Their families come, 50,000 plus, we've been doing about 8 years. And it's
awesome.
crazy to see how many people we get to, and it's turned into much more than that. I mean, we've gotten to do like barbecues for them every quarter. We do these, we do concerts, we do all kinds of stuff. We're like, hey, let's do
a shameless
Yeah.
promotion here.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's
Live
awesome. And then
album.
What is
so
It's
That's-
live from Gateway Chapel.
So
What's
that is with basic training. That is like, there's nothing like this ever. This is a full concert recorded at basic training with basic trainees,
Yeah.
and you hear them cheering. You hear them. They do all these crazy
Wow.
whoop, all these
Yeah,
things.
like
So-
at Lackland Air Force Base,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
So, I'm the one, and I'm not, saying that Renae is not a charitable person, but I am the one in our relationship that really brought Renae into what are we going to make our thing? And my thing was veterans, and now Renae has become so involved. Who was it in you guys' relationship that was more of the, hey, let's take this and run with it?
Probably Amy. I mean, I think
I don't know why.
the dream started. We met doing this. She was doing this for 8 years. We met, 6 years ago or so.
Okay, who made the moves?
We both resisted.
I
Really?
said too, when you get a man with a guitar, it's a little hot. Just saying.
Dude, us guys always, like, when you're college age, we always hated that guy.
Yes,
Right?
for sure.
We're over there talking to the girls, and some dude's like, "You want to hear a song?"
Hey,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
fuck that guy.
So Charlie actually was a trumpet player, and then
Yeah.
about like high school, like shifted out because he was like, trumpet players don't get the girls.
Nope. Like you're the band nerd versus like you're singing the song, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, like who's that guy over there? Like,
So who made the moves? Because you said you both resisted.
yeah, we both resisted, and then I
I don't know. It just
think
kind
we
of-
both knew. We both
knew and fought it a little while, but there's something about making music with a person. I mean, when you're up there, and
That
you're-
connection.
You know,
Yep.
there's
Yeah.
something real special, and I don't do that in uniform. That's a civilian, so I'm reserves. That's this, and then I'm civilian out there.
Well,
So-
Renae and I, we are a working together couple, and there's times where, man, we just do not agree, and we're button heads. I mean, in y'all's relationship,
Well, if the music doesn't sound good, then you know someone's wrong, right? Like,
no, but usually it probably comes out better because there's a little bit
little
of
tension,
action.
yeah.
we've definitely had those moments.
But do you guys, Renae and I always talk about like, hey, we take turns running our departments.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys do that at all, or?
or not that we take turns, but we know what he's better suited for and what I'm better suited for.
If I take on a project, then Renae kind of lets me lead that project. If Renae takes on,
lead.
If Renae
That's
takes
very
on the
diplomatic.
project, If Renae takes on a project, then I just let her lead. Is that how you guys work together? Or?
So I would say we probably do most of it together. I mean, we both know our strengths and weaknesses, and you know.
But I agree. I think that I tend to be kind of the more like the planning, the more like organizational side of things. Actually, I'm a nerd. I enjoy that. Like he's musically, he's definitely like more of the rhythm guy. He's also a drummer. So like if we're on stage with a band and something needs to be ironed out, like I'm not the girl like to do that. Like, I mean, he's gonna be able to speak that language and all that. But like vocals though, I can help out with a vocalist or something if they're having trouble. So absolutely, I think we know our lanes. And,
But are there big blowouts? In the beginning for us there was. Now we're kind of in a groove where we've kind of chilled out on each other when it comes to working together.
I don't think we have blowouts. I think there's times where we butt heads, but we also both
Charlie seems
know.
like a much more chill personality than either you or I
Both of them are like, I love him and he loves me. You're like, well, fuck you and fuck you. On this episode of Fuck You, no fuck you.
I would say probably the most stressed we get is when we're working on a project and we're butting heads over timelines and that kind of stuff, because I tend to be like, let's just do it, and he's like, let's just let's think about it, I want to think about that guitar part. I'm like,
Well,
we
it's
need a guitar part.
You want it to be the best it's ever going to be, but if you'd never reach that, I mean, you could just keep turning and turning and turning for years on the same thing. So you have to reach a point where you go, this is
the kind of
what it's gonna
excellent.
be.
Yeah.
Right? This is excellent. It's maybe not what it could be if we waited another year, but if we wait another year, then we're not helping anybody.
Well, that's so funny you say that, because Renae and I go through that. I'm the, hey, let's finish it and move on.
Thank you.
Oh my God, he flies by the seat of his pants though.
And Renee's it's not perfect.
Whoa.
And I want it to be perfect. And there's a line, right? And I'm like, look, I got things to do.
Thank you.
Like, let's go.
I think this table just got
That's all
versus
right.
them.
We'll do perfect, and they can do project. No.
We'll just get shit done. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
But not to get serious for a minute, but not only are you doing this wonderful charity, you guys went through something with your son
We did.
recently
did.
that really shook all of us.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was so cool to go over yesterday and to see him super alert. Tell us a little bit about what you guys have been through in the past few weeks.
Well, about a month ago, he was, he's 18, just turned 19, but, typical 18-year-old kid just thinks he knows everything, and, just nothing's gonna happen to him. But I got in a motorcycle accident, real bad motorcycle accident, broke his right femur, right hand, left clavicle, left wrist, got road rash all down his side. And then they went to do, right after the accident, they went to put a rod in the femur because it was just shattered so badly. So they did that, and he came out of surgery and never woke up.
Yeah.
I also broke and dislocated the right elbow. So
Yeah.
went into a coma. Nobody could figure out why, because it seemed like, he was okay. It turns out that when you have a big long bone break like that, you have the marrow, inside the bone, and the fat basically gets in your bloodstream and can go up and clog vessels in your brain.
Yeah.
So that's what was causing the coma. But he's come out of it. He's at home now.
It's one of those things for me, and since we have kids now, it's like I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah.
That when we found out, you just go like, all I could say is, "Hey, we're here, guys." I mean,
and y'all,
and
they brought us tacos. Y'all
Right.
did that, and I mean tacos. Like,
but
say
it
no
was
more,
good.
right?
but you just don't know what to say, and it's
I think in those moments, because we've probably all come across that, like, it's not necessarily about what you say, it's about being there for people. Like,
Right.
because we talk about that, like, with what we do is, like, it's the ministry of presence, like, being with people that, like, no one's going to remember what you say, right? In those moments, nobody's going to remember what you say, but they're going to remember, hey, like, I remember that Steve and Renae stopped by.
I
and they
remember
were
the
like,
tacos.
right, and they checked on us. Like,
well, and my thing is, because I love dogs, I was like, I'll help with the dog. Like, what can I do?
Right.
I'll help with the dogs. We'll bring food. I mean, what can we do? So, to walk into your house yesterday and to see your son with his girlfriend, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And by the way, she's probably gonna fall in love with him more. Because what do they call that? The
Florence Nightingale, I think.
Yeah,
like
something like that.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm here taking care of him. But
some of the time.
So we'd be in the hospital, just so you know, and I'm trying to be mom and helpful and all that, and she would ask him the same question, do you need anything? And he's half in and out of coma, and he'd be like, he'd get this line, I'm like, I got nothing.
like, mom's right here.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Renae and I started doing the pie challenge. Now, last year, Sonia in San Diego, she had dealt with finding the baker. We just delivered the money. She delivered the 220 something pies to Pendleton, and then this year we wanted to do it in our backyard because San Antonio is military city.
Yeah.
And so I called Charlie up, and how did I remember?
You called me like 2 days ago. I mean, and
It
I
was
missed the call.
yesterday.
Yeah,
we missed your
It was
call.
yesterday
Yeah, so then-
because we knew we were raising these pies, and we were trying to find a contact to figure out what was going to be the best place to deliver them, who was going to need them and be accepting of them.
So then I call Charlie up, and I go, "Hey, dude, I got 200 pies. I don't know where to take them," and then take it from here.
So, I mean, it's crazy because we had woke up that morning. So last week we had someone at Lackland Air Force Base reach out to us, and they're like, hey, we've got about 500 people that need Thanksgiving meal, and we've done these barbecues for them. They're like, so can you help? And we're like,
2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
right, we're like,
Yeah.
There's a
sure.
turkey
We're like,
shortage.
sure,
Right.
sure.
And
yeah.
I mean, we're not going to say
how
no
we
because
roll.
we love these people. I mean, like, this is like who we care about. So we're like, we'll figure it out, right? And so we had a friend who's like, well, I'll reach out to somebody here and I'll reach out to somebody here. And we set up like a sign up genius. We've got people making mashed potatoes, green beans, stuffing, like rolls. I mean, people are like, I want to help, right? And
And I think too, it's important to note, San Antonio for 45 years, I think, has had a tradition. Operation Home Cooking is what it's called, where they take trainees into their home and for Thanksgiving meal. And with COVID,
They weren't able to
they
do it.
can't do it. They didn't do it at all last year, and they're doing it to a small degree this year. But there's all these troops left over that just are there, that are hanging out on the base, don't
Well-
have any. And so this is a way for the community, I feel, San Antonio, to be like, hey,
Yeah.
this
Let's
is who
do
we
this.
are. Like, so we got
Well-
like Sally making her mashed potatoes, and like.
But let's talk a little bit about what really tripped me out. These aren't your everyday recruits. Is that what they're called?
No,
Right,
more
yeah,
trainees,
so, I mean, yeah, trainees.
These
yeah.
are not your everyday trainees. These are.
Right. So this is, I mean, we're going to be doing it specifically. About half of them are going to be coming from what's called Echo Company. And these are guys who are not American citizens, and their path to citizenship is serving our country. So they care so much that that's what they're doing. And so
They're from all over the world.
yeah, and we
they're-
get to, I mean, it's crazy.
I know someone was asking me when they said, where are they from? Are they from Mexico? I said, no, I think they're from all
over the
over.
world.
all
Yeah.
over the world.
All over
and
the
they
world.
They are. I mean, I have so much respect for these men and women. They want to become American citizens. They've signed up to serve this country and defend us and our freedom. And so they are going, and they don't speak English. So they're at Lackland learning English, doing their version of basic training.
And we're at a point
so-
now in our country where obviously there's a line in the sand, and people are so left or so right, and people have really picked a team. And
I was just about to chime in and say this is not political at all.
Well, no. But when
We
it
talk about
comes,
all the
what I'm
time,
saying
like-
is, when it comes to immigration, there's really two sides of the story. But right here, I don't see how anybody can have a problem with a immigrant coming to our country, signing up to serve our country, and not to mention Thanksgiving being an American holiday.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
We have
That's
this
what
like
gave me chills
Right?
when Steve was talking
We're
about it.
introducing them
yeah,
to their first Thanksgiving.
absolutely.
And you're right. You do feel like they signed up to serve our country. This is our duty to find
Right.
a way to feed them. On
And not only
Thanksgiving.
that, and I'm going to get emotional, but not only that, talk about something to be thankful for. They came from a country, and they came to our country, and if they serve our country the way they're supposed to, they are going to be American citizens. Talk about something to be grateful for
Yeah.
and thankful for, because we forget that at the end of the day, Thanksgiving's not about turkey or pies, or it's about family, and it's about being thankful for the fact that, and I talk about this in my show now, we have lost touch with what the American dream is.
Sure.
Amen.
It's not mansions, it's not, Corvettes, it's not being a TikTok star. It's the ability to feed your family and put a roof over their head.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's all that these people come here for, and they're going to serve our country to earn it. And I don't care who you are, you can't ask for a more special thing.
I agree. I agree. Another about roughly half are men and women that are there, Air Force, Navy, and Marines that are becoming special forces. So basically the cops of the military, the dog handlers. So they've completed their basic training. They're pretty fresh out of basic, and they're on the next tier now. So another just
Wow.
epic group of men and women that.
Well, we do have to kick you out because we have
I know.
It's okay.
We have I know you're Air Force, but we do have a Navy man here that we're gonna meet. But I have a very special surprise for you guys. Me and my team at Helicopters for Heroes, we know you have to cook 50 turkeys. Well, we want to cook 10 of those, and we want to donate 10 turkeys.
That's awesome.
So not only are Renae and I and the family that we have that listen to the podcast are donating the 200 pies from Shake and Bake Bakery. Us at Helicopters for Heroes are going to do 10 turkeys for you guys. Take those off your plates.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, it
kind of
was funny.
speechless.
Well, I'm talking to them yesterday, Renae, and I go, so you got to make 50 turkeys, huh? How the fuck are you going to do that?
Steve's like, we got 2 ovens. You can fit one
We're
turkey
gonna do like
in
3
each one.
fryers, and we've got some. I mean, we've got
Well, so now you're down to 40.
well, that's
So
You have no idea, like.
we're
Thank you.
we're so proud to be a part of this, and the fact that we're neighbors, the fact that we've become friends the way that we have, the fact that we both have the same passion.
When we started the pie
Yeah.
challenge, we had no idea that you guys were going to need to feed this many people for Thanksgiving.
We had no
like,
idea.
we found out last week.
No, y'all, this is a blessing. Thank you.
We're so excited.
Well, thank you for coming on and doing this so
kidding?
that everyone who bought those pies can kind of see how it's all
Yeah.
happening.
How it's all playing
and that's cool
out
for them
and-
too.
We're gonna
We
take
will get some
pictures and
pictures,
video,
yeah,
and I mean,
and-
because like everything that these people have done, it's like it's cool to see what they're doing.
It really is, and again, I don't think anybody can complain about the fact that these people have come to our country and are earning their citizenship through sacrificing possibly their life,
No.
and
Yeah.
people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you guys.
We love you
Thank
guys so
Thank
much,
you.
and we're so excited.
Yeah,
So,
we are too.
and now we
It's
gotta
going to be
kick
a
you
good
out.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has.
And then Rick, if we could, we will try to get their organization and maybe put a little a bug or a lower third. So I just I've turned into such a big puss, man. I'm such an emotional guy, when it comes to kids and veterans, and when all of this worked out the way it did, it's like, oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So very excited. We are excited about
So
things.
thank you for your help. Thank everyone who bought pies.
Oh my God, yeah, all the
Thank
family
you
out
for-
there. Look what you did.
That's really cool.
Look what we all did. And we hope to continue the tradition. I'm probably going to get a pie in the face, but
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
but it's worth it.
But
And I'm-
listen, if you haven't bought a pie yet, there's still time to buy a pie for Team Renae. Just
yes,
saying.
there is,
Just
Steve.
saying.
But we're very excited because we are having our family over for Thanksgiving here at the house, and we're very excited to host Thanksgiving. And for me, Thanksgiving has always been like a really fun holiday where I really feel like Thanksgiving more so than Christmas is a breaks. Everything stops. Everything
just sit
slows
and eat.
down.
And you watch football.
You sit, you eat, you watch football, right? We always play cards or
Yes.
or a game at night.
Yes.
And it's just, really, really family time. Last week I was in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
Had a wonderful time with the fans. The club is fantastic. The city itself, where we were downtown, was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Kind of sad. But
Just people not out and about.
there's nothing downtown. Empty buildings, empty
I mean,
storefronts.
COVID took out a lot of businesses, I'd imagine.
We like to walk to get something for lunch.
Yeah.
I had two options: a really cool sandwich place, which was awesome,
Uh-huh.
and then my other option. Are you ready for this?
McDonald's.
Wong Gonzalez. WONG. Wong Gonzalez.
I like it.
And it was a
I was
Mexican.
gonna say, what kind of food is it? Is it a Mexican Asian fusion?
Dude, Mexican Asian fusion.
Which sounds kind of cool, actually. What did you eat?
I didn't eat there. I'm like, first of all, I'm in Richmond, Virginia. I don't think the Mexican food's good,
Yeah.
right? And then why would I think Mexican and Chinese together would be good?
I guess that's true.
And I mean no offense to Juan Gonzalez. I don't want to get an email from them, but I did not try it. So I cannot tell you if Juan Gonzalez downtown Richmond is good. I can't tell you, but it was weird.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. But we are excited today. We are leaving.
We're going
As
to
a-
Florida.
as a family.
We're traveling again as a family. It's been so long. I feel like was the last time we traveled with Delilah Snowmageddon,
I think so.
right?
I think so. When it was.
So it's been a while.
It's been a long while, and
I wish we weren't traveling with bottles. I wish I'd weaned her off the bottles.
I know we got to go through
because
the
I
security.
remember that makes it so much easier when you don't have to deal with
Yeah,
bottles.
you just cruise through.
Yeah.
But we're excited about it. By the way, if you're listening to this podcast, there might still be tickets available at Dania Point.
Uh-huh.
And then we have San Antonio, Texas for 2 weeks. And then Vegas. I can't wait. Get your tickets at the Mirage, stevetrevino.com.
And then there's other good cities coming up too. Marco Island, New York City, which I am very, very excited about.
Yep, the NYC. People keep asking, when are you coming to New York City? Well,
It's
here we are, the
happening.
Palladium Theater.
Times Square.
Times Square. Very excited about it. I cannot get over how fast this year went by.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't do that. It's not over yet.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving next week.
I know, but I'm living in Thanksgiving and I'm gonna relish in Christmas. Don't do that.
Well, we will see. But we went to Goliad yesterday because we finally got our building
Yeah. Oh yeah.
in Goliad. And I went down. Well, Renae and I went down there, get some pictures, have lunch.
I haven't posted them, but I'll have to share them. There's so many when I was there and walking around the missions and the forts and even the downtown square. Like, gosh, there's just I love old things and there's so many
That's why you like me.
things. It's true.
But I wanted to go down there and help Timmy out with some, yard work,
Yeah.
tree trimming. I've always said this, and going back to us talking about real estate, I don't spend money on things I can do myself.
Well, eventually you run out of time, Steve Trevino.
Well, I again, then you have to balance that. You have to
Yeah.
decide, is it worth my time? Is it worth
Right.
versus the money? But, we have this huge, huge tree on the property. And, Timmy comes back to me and goes, well, they want $2,200 to trim this tree. And I'm like, no. So, to maximize your profits, to maximize your property, me personally, if I can do it myself, I do it myself.
Yeah.
And then I hire the skilled labor.
Yes.
The electrician, the plumber, right? The floater, the one that comes in to float the walls.
You're looking at me like I know what that is.
But painting,
Yeah.
demolition, cleaning up,
Yeah.
trees. I can build a fence. All the things that I can do myself.
Yeah.
I try to do myself, and I invest that time into the property so that I'm not putting out constantly. Like, I mean, if I hired the guy for the trees, Well, that's $2,200. And then we're going to put crushed granite underneath that tree. Well, now you're talking about another $1,500 to $2,000. And then it just kind of adds up. And if me and Timmy and Kyle and my team can do it, we do it. You know, so that we're not having to put out all that extra money. But we're super excited about this project. I am. You finally got excited.
No, I have been excited. It's just the logistics of us being able to spend as much time as we can in Goliad to do it. But it's the coolest city, like stuck back in time, the most gorgeous courthouse and really cool town square. But even our building, like the building has the old plaque with the builders, the architect's initials in it.
That's
and
awesome.
The year it was born, like 1830 or 1850 something.
So we get there and we reach out. By the way, Goliad is just, please go visit Goliad. There's so much to do there. 2 missions, a fort, a river,
you know what?
a state
I thought
park.
You kept saying it's like a day trip. I tried to visit the square and the fort and the mission and the beautiful state park. You can camp there, and there's a river, and you can go canoeing. Yes, you can do it in one day, but it's definitely a place you can spend.
Well, and not only that, like everything's become so maxed out, right? You go to Green, it's freaking packed.
Oh, you're dealing with crowds.
The crowds and the service
and the sidewalks are
you know,
full.
you want to go see the Alamo. Well, that's good luck, right?
Yeah.
There's people everywhere. Man, you walk into these places in Goliad, and the curators can't wait to talk to you.
Yes, everyone wanted to talk to me.
And everybody's giving you info.
So much info.
Details. So we get there.
And they're Texas state parks, so they're they're phenomenal. They're in great,
Well, so, Big Daddy's over there in his work boots. I got my work shirt. I got my work hat on. I'm ready to work.
Looking like Speedy Gonzalez. I don't know why you're dressed like that. You remind me of Speedy Gonzalez, the cowboy hat turned up.
Oh, Speedy Gonzalez. I'm not even that fast. Maybe I used to say Yosemite Sam. My biscuits are burning, but
that was when you just had the mustache.
So I was geared up, ready to get to work, and then all of a sudden, somebody from Goliad, the city, comes over, and we're talking to her, and she's so nice and friendly, and then all of a sudden, the guy that curates the museum, he comes over, and we're just chatting it up and chewing the fat, and I'm like, all right, like I got a tree to trim, So finally, I pawned them off on Renae, and I think you made an impression.
I was happy. So there is a museum, and it's the Old Firehouse. Like, again, another original building, and the city has managed to maintain it. And I don't know where they acquired all of their stuff, but it's full of old treasures and antiques and history from the city.
And the curator was like, I'll open it right now.
It was closed on Mondays. And I was like, oh my God, we're here on Monday, the day it's closed. And he goes, I have a key. I'll open it for you. We can walk around. So I got like a personal tour of this museum. I got to see an old, like what the original X-ray machine looks like. And he was like, I'd love to move it to a different section. He goes, but it's so heavy. He's like, I'm going to need so many men to move this X-ray machine. But that was trippy to see like, what an original X-ray machine looked like.
But I mean, you just walk through that downtown, and it is really a town that time forgot. And
it's still, it feels like time has stood still there.
And that was my goal, when I was talking to him. I go, guys, we got to get better photographs of this town square. We gotta make a better Instagram. We gotta show people how beautiful this little town is, and hopefully, those of you that live in Texas or you plan on visiting Texas. Man, Goliad is a gold mine of a great couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful. The people are friendly.
We still haven't canoed down the river, which I want to do. I think that would be fun to do with Garrett. Garrett keeps saying he wants to go camping. The camping grounds are beautiful there. So I think we need to do like show people that there's a kid-friendly version of Goliad too, not just like antique shopping and old people.
Yes. And then moving on, because we don't want to keep you guys too long. When I first started dating Renee's little sister and her grandfather were the only ones that liked me. And Rebecca was very young when I met her, and I just have a special place in my heart for Rebecca, your sister.
Said that.
And that's what makes this Thanksgiving also really special, because gosh, we've all gone through so much in our lives, and so much has changed. over the years.
Thanksgiving and Christmas were so weird for everyone last
you know,
year.
well, and you know, Rebecca went to UTSA, which is doing a phenomenal in football right now, and she fell in love with the kicker, Sean, and we all fell in love with Sean. You know, after college, Sean decided to join the Navy as an officer, which again, you know, makes me so proud.
Yeah.
You know, that I have a brother-in-law that's serving our country, and he really has become kind of like the quintessential poster Marine. I mean, Navy.
If there was a recruiting
guy.
poster, Sean in his dress whites, you know,
And so
standing
then
tall.
when you guys did say yes to the dress, and Sean's 6'4". He's full dress.
My sister was on Say Yes to the Dress. You used to have a joke about it, but
Yeah.
for people who don't know, my sister was on Say Yes to the Dress with Sean. They did someone to represent each country or each state in the U.S., and they represented Hawaii, and they had a big ceremony in Central Park. And then afterwards, Becca and Sean were walking around Times Square, her in her wedding dress.
People were losing their minds.
And him in his dress whites. And it was just like kind of that iconic image where the soldier dips the girl,
Yes.
you know? It was totally one of those, but like in the middle of Times Square.
Well, let's get them in here. Sean
Okay.
and Rebecca, come on in here.
You guys come in.
They're coming in. There they are. So this is Miss Rebecca, Renee's
You guys have
sister.
a seat.
Rebecca, sit by me, and Sean, you can sit by my wife.
You look so pretty.
Thank you. So do you.
I gotta say, Sean, it must be nice to not have to shave the stubble.
Yes, for a few days. we're gonna clean it up when we go do the stuff
I'm
next
gonna
week.
take
for
this.
Yes,
Thanksgiving.
well, and that's another great thing that you know, having Sean and Rebecca here, they're like, we're going with you to deliver pies, so we're super excited about it. I think what Renae and I wanted to talk about mostly is, you know, the sacrifice that you made to sign up in the Navy, and to find yourself in Hawaii. Rebecca, how was that? Like, do people truly understand the sacrifice?
It was tough at first, especially since we had just gotten married.
That's right. It was literally we went to their wedding, and then like a day or two later, you guys left for Hawaii. Like you were packed up. Had your stuff already been shipped when you got married?
Yes, it was already over there because he had been over there for about 6 months before we had gotten married.
Oh, that's right. And you were still working. I forgot.
So there's always a lot of time apart, and Hawaii was new for me. It's the furthest I had been away from our family. And then, you know, he's going out on a ship and leaving 1-2 months at a time. It's not too long, but, you know, just getting married, me in a new place, it was tough.
But the shitty part is, Renae and I are working on. We had a date
We had a show planned in
to go to
Hawaii in May.
so that
Yes.
we could visit you guys.
We wanted y'all to come out there so bad.
Man, we
Yeah.
wanted to go out so bad, and then all of a sudden, boom, coronavirus hits.
I know.
What's Sean doing on the boat? What are you doing at home?
Yeah, so that started like 3 months after Rebecca got there. So like we didn't get to do the kind of stuff we wanted to do, where it's like island hopping or having more family come visit. So it kind of limited what we could do off island, what people could come.
Well, in
visit us and
Hawaii's
see.
COVID
But-
rules were so strict.
They were one of the strictest in the country.
I remember.
At one point, they were not even letting groups of people on the beach. There was drones flying around telling people to get off the beach. It was pretty intense.
How do they talk through the drones? They talk to the drones?
They talked through the drones at the people.
Holy
like, get
crap.
off the beach.
Speakers on them.
Yeah.
So now you're in Hawaii. You're on the boat when you need to be on the boat. And Becca, you were working, right?
I was working, yeah. So my company was really good. They kept all of their employees. They didn't cut anybody's pay, and we just followed the rules. At one point, I was working 20 hours telehealth, so 20 hours from home, and then 20 hours in the clinic, and we were just making it work. So.
Holy moly, dude! Renae and I would call you, and did you think that, you know, because at one point, you know, with our group text with the family, the opinions of coronavirus were so different.
Oh, yeah, because how we felt about it here in Texas was very different than how you felt about it in Hawaii. I mean, I get it, you're on an island, so there's the chance for it not to get there.
Right, but two, also you have to think about the resources there are really limited. If there was, you know, an outbreak there like there is here, we don't have the resources to handle it over there. So
The hospitals,
you know.
things like that, yeah.
So you could have an entire island completely sick,
Yeah.
and what do you do? Where do you go?
Right.
How many years did you guys do in Hawaii? Was it 2?
I was there for about 2.5. She was there about 2 total. Yeah.
And now where are we going?
Japan, Sasebo. Yeah.
Off to Japan.
Next month.
But Becca, it's been interesting because I felt like there were moments where you were like, fuck this shit, I want out, this sucks. And then there's moments that you're like, oh my God, I love my time in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. In the beginning when I first got there, like I said, it was tough, but it grew on me so much. And now I'm like, I call it Hawaii homesick. I'm Hawaii homesick. I miss my friends. I miss my job. Everybody there was just awesome. And the things you can do there, like it's right up my alley. I like to surf. I like to hike. I like to do all of those things.
Well, and what's crazy too is again, talking about sacrifice and the sacrifice that when you marry a man who's in the military, boom, you get into Hawaii. It's awesome. You finally make friends.
Yeah. And then you leave.
And then it's time to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the plan in Japan? How many years? What are we doing? Are we going to visit, Renae?
Y'all better visit this
Well,
time.
my hope is that you're there for how long?
18 months for sure.
Yeah.
We don't know after
18
that.
months.
Yeah.
And so that puts Garrett at about 8 years old. And so
8 years. Oh yeah, I guess so. Shoot.
So Steve always talks about how he hates to travel. So I made a comment and said maybe towards the end of your time, Garrett and I would go with his 8th birthday. And Steve right away goes, "What? I'm not invited?" And I said, "Oh, look who likes to travel now."
Are there anybody that you know going to be out there?
So at the clinic I was working at in Hawaii, there was a Japanese woman there, Mari, and she just moved back with her family to Japan. So she doesn't live near Sasebo, but you have the bullet train, and I'm still in contact with her, so she's offered to show me around.
And Renae, our niece, is also in
that's
Japan,
right.
a different part of Japan, which I think is pretty far from you guys. It's a big country.
And then where's her fiance going to be?
He's
'Cause
in
the
Japan
Navy.
too.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to be close to Sean and Rebecca, but
I think he might be closer to Sean and Rebecca than he and Renae are to each other, if I remember correctly.
so then how long are you going to be on the boat out of those 18 months?
Well, so I'm going to a minesweeper, so it's not as much time underway as my last ship. I got super lucky with my last ship too. I didn't get to deploy. We led all the way up to deployment, and then as soon as I left, they deployed.
Later losers.
Yeah. So
Good luck with deployment.
the most time I spent away from home on the first shift was about 2 months. Minesweepers, they don't go out for very long. When they do, if the sea state's too bad, they're small ships, so they can't be out for very long in general. But if sea state's too bad, they can't go out at all. So I think we're getting pretty lucky there too. But even if we do have like a deployment, it's going to be a lot of time in different ports and a lot of time going back to Sasebo. So I think I'll have a good amount of time at home this tour too. So
Well,
I'll be lucky again.
I just can't believe how much time has flown by. Like, I'm talking to Sean, and he's like, I have 18 months left on my contract.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Or
shit.
even just right now, when I said Garrett will be 8, maybe we'll go for his 8th birthday. You were like, what?
Yeah, holy crap.
Yeah.
So, no, not career.
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
If I can do it, I would like to,
Yeah.
because the benefits and the work-life balance gets better as you go along.
I feel like the lifestyle's kind of grown on us, honestly. I find myself getting like antsy when we're in one place for too long. I'm like, okay, let's
Now
go to
where
the
we
next
going?
one.
But that happened for us, Well, but I always talk about and
Even with our apartments in LA, you would be like, hey, you want to start looking for another apartment?
yeah, but Becca, we talk about Renae all the time, and at one point Renae didn't realize Renae would do drama tournaments every single weekend.
Yeah, I was a drama nerd.
So
I remember that.
every weekend
I was used to being in a different city.
she was in a different city anyway.
Yeah.
So my lifestyle was perfect
She was
for
used to it already.
something that she was
Yeah.
already used to. And then with your job, now you're doing telehealth. So by the way, very proud of Miss Rebecca here. She is a doctor in physical therapy. And now she is the official, what do I do when this happens?
Yes, I get that a lot.
But tell us a little bit about your health journey, because Renae and I are constantly battling, trying to get to
Get
that
abs.
get to that next level of being fit.
Yeah.
If you were to give us some advice as to what helped you guys turn the corner.
Yeah, so when we were in undergrad, I guess I gained like the freshman 15, right? I was weighing
15.
okay, maybe it was a little more than that. I don't know. But I just got really into running, and that's kind of what started it all. And I started seeing like gradual results, and as the journey went on, then I was like, okay, let me try to start lifting weights. I didn't know what to do in the gym. I just would pull up a workout on Pinterest and start following it. And then I went to physical therapy school, and of course the people surrounding me, they were really into fitness. So that kind of drove me a little more to get more into it. And then I started bikini bodybuilding. I did that for a little bit. And, you know, the knowledge that I've just gained from learning through that and learning through my career, I mean, it's kind of a lifestyle now, right? I work out 6 times a week, and Sean will come work out with me. And once you make it part of your lifestyle, it's easy. It's the first thing I do in the morning, and you get it done, and you continue on with your day.
Yeah, but it's been, I mean, you know, I've got to watch the entire journey because I've known you for so long. I mean, it's been, you know, I really feel like there was a moment where it was like, I want to get back into shape. Then I want to get in crazy shape. Now I just want to maintain.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, no, that I mean, that's what it is. You can't stay in crazy shape all the time. You can't stay in bodybuilding shape all the time. It's unrealistic. So, yeah.
Well,
no,
what's your Instagram so people can see her bodybuilding shape?
My Instagram is Rebecca K. Smith.
Rebecca K. Smith, and we didn't change it to Ayano. And then Sean, what's yours?
Sean Ayano. Easy.
That's it. Well, guys, follow them on Instagram. Follow their journey as they continue going to Japan. And we are going to take a bunch of pictures next week as we all go together to help feed.
Yes.
You know, I felt bad because Charlie was, I go, so Thanksgiving, you guys are feeding people. And he was like, yeah. I go, yeah, we're not doing that. I go, I'm never home. I want to be home with the family. But we are going to deliver pies and
10
cookies,
turkeys.
and 10 turkeys.
And coffee.
And coffee from Old Salt Coffee. So we love you guys. Thank you for all your help. We're doing wonderful things because of you guys. And there is no us without you. And I'm glad that you have continued to ride this ride with me and Renae and meet our family. You've met, who have they met so far? They've now met Rebecca.
Yes,
and
they
Sean.
met Daddy Raymond and Mama
Mama
Mia.
Mia.
They've met
Miss
Dora.
Dora.
I think that might be it.
No, Grandpa Joe.
No Grandpa Joe yet. I don't know. I'm a little afraid to have Grandpa Joe on the podcast.
Who knows?
That would be
maybe-
very entertaining.
You know what? Maybe for Father's Day in 2022. Because
Yeah,
the
it'll-
podcast is going to go on into 2022.
It'll match his speech at our wedding. Life is hard. You think this shit is special? It's not.
Maybe for Father's Day or Memorial Day or something, since he's a vet too.
And we
can
haven't
do a
had-
father-son episode.
We haven't had Victoria?
No, we've never had your
My
sister.
sister Lisa?
No.
Wow. All right. Well, there's so many more of the characters. Oh, Timmy. They haven't met Timmy. They met Betty.
They met behind the scenes Betty. They haven't met road manager Timmy.
And they haven't met road manager Kyle.
No.
And nobody wants to meet Rick.
Everybody wants to meet
They all wanna know what Rick
They all
looks
wanna
like.
see what he looks like.
Rick looks like that big shaggy dog with the hair in its face. That's what Rick looks like.
One day, Rick will make an awesome Santa Claus.
Rick is a lot like me in the fact that he should not have married the woman he married. Rick must have game. That's our show. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.